Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what's up? My name is Jessica Flores and welcome to my channel. I have not posted on here in a while and I really wanted this to be a very casual video. I just had an encounter while I was in Chicago that I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys do like these types of life videos, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and I will make more of these. What a 70-year-old stranger on a train taught me about life. I sit down next to this old man and I was like, oh my god, I love old people. Like, if you know me, you also know I love old people. He turns to me and asks me why one of his messages on his iPad isn't sending. And he's like, oh, can you try sending it for me again? And I go on his phone and he's trying to click a message to his granddaughter that says, I love you more. And I'm like, oh my god, stop. And then he asked me a couple other technical issues and I answered him and he's like, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, you're welcome. The train ride was like 5 or 6 hours. So for 5 straight hours, where did this come from? We talked non-stop. We talked about his family, we talked about his wife, we talked about how he's visiting his daughter in Michigan. Honestly, anything and everything. He's traveled the world and we spent probably a good 2 hours just looking at pictures of everywhere that he's been on his little tiny like Samsung tiny phone. And I was like, oh my god, so cute. Like, I could talk for hours. People around us were probably like, can they stop? I loved it. I kept asking him everything. This is what I wanted to kind of get out of this video. So he went to engineer school and then finally he was like realizing this is not what I want to do with my life. He's like, my passion really lies in hairdressing. And although he went to school for engineering, I wanted to pursue what I was passionate about. He said his mom would be embarrassed when people would ask, so what do your sons do? And he'd be like, well, one's a lawyer, one's a CPA, and the other is a hairdresser. That's exactly how he said it. He's like, and I just worked really hard at it. I knew that this was what I wanted to do, and although it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing according to society, he loved it and that was his passion and he worked hard at it and he had fun doing it. So after he went to hair school, he worked at a salon and then eventually worked his way up into owning one. And after that, he owned another one and bought another one and another one, and you get the picture. He eventually made his life out of that. So he owned a chain of beauty salons. He said his mom's attitude totally changed when things started to get good. Every time they would ask her what her sons do, she would be like, well, one owns a chain of beauty salons. And I was like, wow, this man is like 70 something years old. And imagine if he had gone to engineer school and worked in corporate America, just followed the route that was paved for him by everyone else, he would not be where he is today. I think he said he retired at like 40 something, sold all the chains. He might have had a totally different life had he not followed his passion and his dreams for hairdressing. This is how I want to tie it back into my life. I'm 1 year out of college and corporate America has me like, I know everyone says millennials this, millennials that, we're entitled and we don't want to work, we don't know what hard work is, but honestly, it's just this world nowadays is such a different world. It's not all about, I mean, even back in that day, that was pretty ballsy to just be like, no, I'm gonna be a hairdresser, not an engineer, not follow what my family's doing or what they care about. But I feel like even nowadays, there's so many more opportunities that we have with the technology and just the culture that is today. And I'm sure everyone in corporate America feels this way sometimes with work. I mean, no one loves going to work. It is like, yippee hooray, you know? We'd all much rather be doing something we liked, whether it's like photography or painting or walking dogs or traveling or whatever it may be. I'm sure we'd all rather be doing that than working for someone else. I grew up very entrepreneurial, and like when I was 18, somewhere around that age, I mean, I had my blog. I wanted to start like an apparel company and like workout apparel, and had my fitness Instagram and really wanted to pursue that. And I loved motivating people, showing people that it feels so good to take care of your body and how important health is, and then got into fashion and makeup. I stopped doing it because I was so sucked out of life for my job. I have been really slacking on my content and my motivation and personal motivation, not just inspiring others, like physically me. Lost my sense of self, I think, and it's really weird feeling like coming home from working for somebody else and just being with numbers all day. You're such a creative soul and you want to inspire people. It's very hard that every day I'm like, dang, I'm literally only 23. This is just the beginning of this. Like, I can't fathom doing this for the rest of my life and not having motivation to do what I'm passionate about, because you only have one life. I just think for me personally, I can't just waste it working for somebody else and then coming home and not working on myself and my dreams. I'm making somebody else's dreams come true, and I'm just like, to mine. And that's just not the person I am. I just feel like I have a lot of passions and I want to share them with people because I want them to see how it can benefit them. When I'm coming home in a bad mood because I had a long day at work, or work was very stressful, or whatever, I'm just like, how did I get here, and is this really going to be the rest of my life? Almost like a feeling of like hopelessness. I don't want to work out. I eat healthy, but I don't want to post it. I don't want to make creative new foods. I don't get excited. I don't want to do anything. I get home and I'm just like exhausted mentally. It stems from the work itself, but it also just stems from the annoyance that I feel that I'm doing all this and literally not doing what I want to be doing in my passion. I have such a big passion, especially when it comes to like health. I just want everyone to live their best life and their healthiest life. Like, this body is the only thing that's keeping you on this planet right now. I literally feel like my life is just passing by. I am so young that I don't want working a 9 to 5 or 9 to later than 5 take away from the thing that makes me passionate in my life. Because I mean, imagine if that man on the bus had never pursued his passion for hairdressing, like for hair. He would not be where he is today. He probably would not be so fulfilled in his heart from following what he wanted to do. He would be stuck in a 9 to 5 in an engineer firm, wishing he was doing hair, loving his life every single day because he was doing what he wanted to do and what he loved. And he eventually made it a very successful business for himself. For me personally, I heard that story and it just resonated so much with my life and what I'm going through right now, that I should not let I mean, obviously I need money, so I need to have a job. Take away from what really sets my soul on fire, I guess you could say. Just get to have fun and be creative, which is what I am. I don't want to look back and know that I let that all go to waste, all my passions. I mean, I have such a passion for fitness and health and makeup and fashion and motivation and life, and if I just went through life mad and sad and annoyed about working my job and not being able to do those things, and looking back and being like, Jessica, you had a blog, you had a website, you had like a 30-day challenge that people were doing, a lot of people were doing, you could have made an impact in people's lives. And the messages that I used to get, you've changed my life with like my working out, and you've motivated me so much, and I'm doing your challenge, and I have lost this many pounds. And that was the most satisfying thing to me. Even makeup, everyone that asks me for makeup tips or to do their makeup or asks me what's the best foundation, that's what I do it for. Like, I love helping people like feel beautiful, feel healthy, feel good. And just hearing that story from him and talking to him for 5 hours straight, we talked about the secret to long marriage, the secret to life, his regrets. Time flies faster than anyone thinks. I don't want to get to my old stage in my life and look back and be like, dang, like you could have made a ton of content that your grandchildren could see, that your kids could see, of you just being a positive light, of you sharing your passions. Just like to see their mom, their grandma, whatever, my parents even, to see their child living out what they love. I don't know how to explain it. It's nothing against the job. I'm really grateful for the job. I've learned so much. I love doing business. That's why I went to school in business. But ultimately I did go to business because I had my website at the time and I wanted to learn marketing and advertising for myself. Basically, I just want this to be a video to myself almost, and to anyone who's feeling the same way. Even if, like right now it's midnight and I'm filming this and I have to get up for work in the morning, even if it's late at night, even if it's the weekends and you do nothing else on the weekend, do what makes you happy. Don't just float by in life. I mean, there was a point where I was like doing nothing but just like working, getting home exhausted, going to bed, working, getting home exhausted, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? If there's a passion that you have, you need to make time for that, because it's only one life. You don't want, I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, I listen to him a lot, and one time he said, like, if you died tomorrow, would you be happy the way you lived your life today? And there were a lot of days where no, I'd be like, I'd go to work, be miserable, come home, be miserable, be in a bad mood. I just want this to be a message to myself. If I ever am feeling like I don't want to work out or I don't want to meal prep or film a video or post on Instagram, imagine him being now 80 and being like, dang, I wish I could have pursued my hair career. I don't want that regret. I think regret is so painful. The regret of not trying is just, I don't want that. So I guess that's just like the message for me, Jessica, if you're watching this when you're upset. Go film a video, go work out, release those endorphins, go eat healthy and post it, and go on Snapchat and do a little rant about health or makeup, or do a makeup trick, something that makes you happy, because I can't just keep complaining about my life and not doing anything about it. If you have a passion, pursue it, because you never know where it can take you. Just remember that you have one life. One life. You do not need to live it for anyone else but yourself. I really just wanted to make this video for myself, to just like vent my life out. Just try what you want to do, what you love. Make time for what you want to do, because you will never get that time back. My life, a really good amount of it the past year was just flying by. I had nothing to show for it except some money in my bank account. It's not a way to live, and it's not a way to die. If that's your thing, 9 to 5, love it, live for it, all for it. I encourage anyone that has a creative spirit or likes photography or likes design or likes fashion or makeup, just do it, because you never know where it could take you. It just feeds your soul, and I think that's way more important than like working just to make some money. It's not all about the money, it's about what did you do while you were here, you know? It's getting very deep, but this is like how Pisces thinks. Hopefully I will start posting more on here, and I know I say that all the time, but I really am going to make it a priority, because like I said, my mental health has not been good lately. I need to get it back. Follow your dreams. Never do what society says you should do if you don't want to do that. There's so many opportunities in this world to do anything, and whatever your passion might be, I'm sure there's something that you can do, not even just to make a living completely out of that, but to still do it while you're doing something else. I guess just take that however you guys would like. Shout out to him for being a little light in my day that morning for 5 hours. Oh god, ew, I was like about to cry. I really didn't want to cry. Well, we're getting really personal here now. I'm staring at my mood board that I had made. The center quote is, "Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire." And you know, I have a lot of stuff on there about traveling, reading more, and working toward passions, and YouTube, and fashion, and makeup. I don't know why I'm crying. I felt like I was going down a black hole and I couldn't get out of it. And I know it's so easy for anyone to be here like, I work harder than you, I work more hours than you. My job is very busy and it can be very stressful, and it's just like crazy, and then I just was exhausted. This is so much more than just posting a picture on Instagram. Like, I just hope people don't think that, because if you know me, if you really know me, you know I am so selfless and so caring, and have so many emotions and feelings and care about people a lot. It's way more than that. So don't think like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have time to post on Instagram. It's more about just doing what my heart wants to do. And I try really hard to not be negative and complain. I just try and stay positive and feel grateful that I even have a job, and that I got a degree to get me this job, and that I'm capable of having a car to drive to work, and you know, things like that. I try very hard. That got really emotional really fast, and I didn't mean it to, but just go live your dreams, go live your life. Don't care what people think, and if they are negative towards you, then that says a lot more about them than you. Because if I saw someone out there, whether it was they loved freaking walking dogs and had an Instagram about walking dogs and made walking dog videos and were obsessed with walking dogs, who am I to judge them and what they're passionate about? At the end of the day, you're gonna be that 70-year-old on a train. I don't want to be 70 years old and have this regret that I was young once and I had all these opportunities in my hand and I didn't take them. Thank you for listening to this long rant and watching me cry for the first time. I'm trying to be more raw. So, because I mean, we all are like the same. We're all human. We all go through similar emotions, feelings, thoughts. That is what this 70-year-old stranger on a train taught me about life.